What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, yeah, we got another good show, man. Lined up for y'all today. I'm checking what I'm doing now. Is I'm just checking this. Yeah, we got another good show, man. Yeah, we got lined up. We got the sounds going good. I'm checking what I'm doing now. How's everybody week? We got another good show, man. Yeah, we got lined up. We got the sounds going good. I'm checking what I'm doing now. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting some type of feedback. Oh, I
Yep.
know what I gotta cut this off. Yeah, but as long as we got the sound is working good. Can y'all hear me good?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, everybody week was good.
Yeah.
Real good basketball games going on.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of good games on, man. I watched like 3 games yesterday. I thought we
Mm-hmm.
was good and stuff like that.
What was
Yeah.
that last game last night? What was that late game?
Oh, UCLA and who UCLA played last night?
No. In the men's side.
Oh, on the men's side. I don't know. I
Yeah.
watched 3 of the women's game last
Yeah,
night.
I watched the women, but it was a man's game. That was a good game. It was better than I thought too.
Houston,
Um,
the Houston game.
Houston game.
Yeah,
Houston.
Houston, Purdue.
Yeah, Houston, but it was one before. What was the game right before Houston Purdue?
Was that the Tennessee game?
Tennessee going against
Did
Uh,
Bruce Pearl? Was it Bruce Pearl?
yeah. Kentucky. Yeah, that was a fun game.
and who was before them?
Oh, who did I watch before that? Was it the Michigan game?
Michigan. That's the game.
Yeah.
Michigan. That's the game. That was a good game.
Michigan
Yeah.
Auburn. And
Yeah, Michigan.
that's the one I picked.
Yeah.
Oh, Michigan and Auburn.
Who won?
Michigan.
I didn't- Oh, Michigan beat Auburn?
Yep.
Woo!
Good
Who
thing.
else beat 10?
Creighton didn't get it done last week for Clayton,
No.
but Michigan got it done on them this week.
Yeah.
From Auburn knocked out of it, huh?
Yeah,
Auburn out of it. Tunk, what's good, Jack?
There's Tunk.
Tunk, can you hear me? Yeah, man. Give Tunk a second to get his ears right.
I had Auburn in the championship going against Duke.
Real.
Yeah.
Duke. Who Duke play tonight? That's lined up to be a good game.
Yes, that is
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yep.
That's
Hey, you gonna have to take some no-dos. You gotta step to watch that game, man.
I'm gonna try, bro. I'm gonna try. Ain't nobody have nothing for Cooper, man. Don't none of them cats got nothing for Cooper.
Yeah.
Nah.
I agree with you. I think he gonna, man. Yeah, I think he gonna go to work on it.
Duke has the size and the length.
If Duke wins the national championship, Cooper's pro.
Absolutely.
You say he gone?
Yeah, he gone. He gone.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. What's good, Tom? Can you hear us?
How y'all feeling, fellas?
What's up, Tom?
How's it going?
Yeah, we good. We good. You sound a little bit muffled, though. You do sound muffled. Yeah.
But let me go back to the discussion I had with Maryland, though. That's the thing that's surprising me. After that, first of all, they lost to the #1 team in the country. I mean, in the tournament. Okay, I don't know what Maryland fans was expecting, but I think Maryland played a great game considering what they were up against. But us Maryland fans, we had aspirations of going to the big dance in the Final Four. We couldn't even look past the fact that they played the #1 seeded team. They played a great Florida team that has stars at every position.
Yeah.
But anyway, then you get into the press conference and the coach is talking about how the situation of Maryland AD director doesn't support them as he should, or they should, especially with the NIL coming along. And then one day later, you find out he's trying to, Villanova's trying to get him to come in.
You think he's
So,
gone, man? I think he's gone.
oh yeah, I think he's gone too.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
That's Merlin head coach, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, they got Villanova looking at him. Yeah, I think he's gone. I think Villanova. I think they're gonna give him more bread. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? You know Villanova. That's a basketball school.
Right.
That's a basketball school. Yeah. So I think
But let me tell you what I think the big repercussions may be of that. Not only that the coach is leaving, but their all-star center leaving with them.
Was that the dude Queen?
Yeah,
Yep.
Queen. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
Queen. I think Queen should stay, but they saying he'll be a top pick, so he probably won't. But I think he should stay. And the reason I think he should stay is because on that next level, I don't know if he can create enough space for himself to get shots yet. And I think he should work more and develop more. And I think he should come out and really try to focus on playing in the post in the next level, because that's a lost art in the NBA. But at his size and what he does, I don't know if he can create space for himself.
well,
how big is it? How big is it?
he about like
think-
7'6", 7.
6'7", yeah, 6'7", 6'8", yeah.
Yeah. So, but the thing about it is, he a wide body, so he creates space in that, you know what I mean, in that manner. He creates space with his shoulders, and he don't elevate. He gonna give you pump fakes. He need to work on his footwork too, like that another year of college will help that, working on your footwork and because if he not elevating, he'd be like another Zach Randolph, but without that height.
And I just meant creating space with the ball in his hand, like if he's forced to play out on the perimeter and stuff. That's what I meant. But you're right.
Yeah, I mean,
that's where he's probably, because 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", you know what I'm saying? They perimeter guys pretty much.
Yeah.
Not only are they perimeter guys, but they also athletic and usually, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, but if you also look at it this way too, one, you get more NIL money, and two, he can follow the coach that got him to the position that he's at right now.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't really see him staying with Merle. I really don't.
I hope he don't.
What would you do? What would you do if you got three choices? Stay with Merle, follow the coach if he go to Villanova, follow the coach of Villanova, or go to the NBA.
I follow the coach. I advise him to follow the coach.
Yeah, especially with the way the money is accoladed right now. If I wasn't guaranteed in the top 10 for him anyway, I wouldn't go to the NBA. The only way I would go to the NBA if I know I'm gonna be a top 10 pick.
Right, yeah.
But if I'm not, if nobody's projecting me to be a top 10 pick, then I'm staying. I'm going to Villanova, get as much NIL money as I can from them, and learn from the guy that's gotten me to where I'm at right now.
Exactly.
Well, he said he has a desire to have more Baltimore kids attend Maryland. And if that's the case, I can't see him leaving Maryland if he's trying to inspire other Baltimore kids to come to Maryland.
Well, I know me and Tonga had this conversation before about Maryland kids and kids from Baltimore in this area going to Maryland, right? Maryland, they could have, because they sitting right here in Outlet, they could have really sold up all this talent coming out here if they wanted to. They have had since Gary Williams, you know what I mean? Everybody who has came after Lefty and Bob Wade have had the opportunity to sew this area up, right? But for some reason, Gary Williams didn't want to do he didn't want to be associated with the people who has those what's the league they got now for the kids to play in?
AAU.
He don't want nothing to do with the AAU circuit, right? He ain't want to do that. So it's looking like it's not just Gary Williams, but it's a Maryland policy for them not to support this area, and so they're going to lose out. Instead of, you got Syracuse and all those other Big East schools who was getting these kids from this area for years, and Maryland just let everybody go. So that's on Maryland. That's on Maryland.
And let's not forget the NIL money. I don't care how many kids he decides he wants to bring top tiers from Maryland. He wants to bring to Maryland. If Maryland ain't giving out the NIL money, them kids' parents is going to send them, where that money's going to be.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's not Maryland's policy, Mike, because Lefty was trying his hardest to get talent. The problem with that was what happened with Ernie Graham, and Bob Wade and some of the other guys in the city was not letting the kids go to Maryland at one point. Now, once Gary Williams came, he got Keith Booth and Juan Dixon and those guys. I don't know what happened after that, but I do know at one point Lefty was trying hard to get these guys.
Yeah, that's why I said after Lefty Drizel, you know what I mean? Even Bob Wade, you know what I mean? He was digging into this, right? You know what I mean? But when you have, like, after that, I'm thinking I'm going to contribute it to the school because the school is the one common denominator. You know, Gary Williams, if that was his choice not to, participate in that AAU circuit, and then you got Boeheim, and you got and you got the other coach coming from UConn and all those other schools getting Maryland players, then that's on him. You know,
and let's not forget about the popularity of Georgetown. You know what I'm saying? The popularity of John Thompson, black coach in Georgetown in the DMV area, was more conducive to the Maryland DMV talent. So if you
but I thought the coach after Gary Williams, I thought he was supposed to have or he had an assistant with him that supposed to have reach, as far as that AAU talent or whatever. What was it? I can't remember the dude's name that followed Gary Williams.
He's still over there. He was over there last time I checked. He's been over there for like, I don't know, about like at least 2 or 3 administrations. But,
and let's not forget they made Bob Wade take the fall after that mess with Len Bias. Lefty got fired. Bob Wade got hired, but then they threw Bob Wade under the bus behind Rudy. What's the guy, Rudy Archer? So that left a sour taste in Baltimoreans' mouth as well. So.
No doubt about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, they shoot themselves in the foot though when it comes to getting this local talent. And you just look at like what we see other colleges. It was a people. Let me see, who was the guy? It was another guy who went from Douglas to Memphis, and I didn't even know about him until Memphis was. Who was the guy that went to Memphis University?
The big dude. Yeah, I forgot his name. I know you're talking about though. I think he made it to the league for a short stint with Houston. I think he made it to the league with Houston. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So they coming ahead. That's on Maryland. So yeah, if I was Queen, I would skip out too and follow that coach to UConn. Yeah. But so look. Now, what do y'all think about this ongoing this beef or this media tour that Stephen A is doing and LeBron doing? LeBron was just on Pat McAfee, and he said some things about Stephen A, and he said one thing he said about, what was the other guy? Brian Windhorst. He said Brian Windhorst was, which I ain't get. He said he was weird and he not his friend. I'm like, why you, if this dude been supporting him for all these years, never said anything bad about him, I don't get the strategy in that for LeBron to say that.
Brian Windhorst, he takes a shot at a lot of, not LeBron, but Brian Windhorst, he takes shots at a lot of players, former players as well. I remember him saying something about Iverson one time, and Jason Williams, the one they call White Chocolate, he came to Allen Iverson defense, and he said something in rebuttal to that. Like, man, you talking about professional athletes. When the last time you exercised or did anything? Like, he was speaking on Iverson not doing something, not taking it serious, not taking the profession serious, things like that. And Jason Williams ran to his defense, but he never said anything bad about LeBron because I think they went to the same high school or something.
I think so.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? So he never said nothing bad about LeBron. But he takes shots like all of them, man. They take shots at them athletes, man.
Well, LeBron said he didn't appreciate him saying that he only signed with Nike following Michael Jordan. He said he definitely wore 23 because of Mike, but he didn't sign to Nike because of Mike. He said he signed to Nike because they gave him a $90 million contract. That's why he signed to Nike.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, so he took offense to that. But
he got a lifetime contract with Nike too.
yeah, but this was coming out of high school. The first
one straight out of school, it was like a $90 million.
Yeah.
I'm thinking what you just said though, Clayton. I'm thinking that's LeBron. His downfall throughout his career is basically not trying to blaze his own path, but to follow after Mike and all of this stuff. You coming behind Mike, and all that's everything is just pointing towards it ain't working out for him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let me ask you a question. Who else was going to give him $90 million now?
Well, he could have got money from a Converse, Adidas, Under Armour. He could have got money elsewhere.
Converse ain't like that. First Under Armour doesn't have money like that. And
at that time, the only one I heard was Reebok. That's the only one I heard at that time.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. All right, yeah, because Steph Curry, if Steph Curry wanted to be, Steph Curry could be with Nike if he didn't sign with but I thought it was a good move for him to sign with Under Armour.
Well, you know how Nike treated him though. You know when they was trying to recruit him, they ran a video of Kevin Durant. So they fumbled that.
Nike treated him like shit.
Yeah.
Nike fumbled that themselves.
Say that again, man.
I said Nike had the option of going with Durant or Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they was trying to figure out both of them at the same time, and they went with Durant.
Yeah.
So it ain't like Steph Curry had a lot of options. The only other thing was on his table was up and coming Under Armour and Adidas.
You gotta remember that too. That's a good point you make, man. Under Armour was up and coming at the time. They wasn't the household name that they are now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember, Under Armour was only good for heat gear. That's all you knew Under Armour for was tight heat gear shirts. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Man in a bad spot.
Yeah, man. We can't. It sound like you on a walkie-talkie or something, Jack. We can barely hear you.
Hey, fellas, let me ask Jim this, man, and I want to draw some parallels, right?
Yeah.
And Jim, I know you're a hockey guy. You know what I'm saying? You know a lot about hockey and things like that. And you got Ovechkin. He's closing in on the scoring
on Gretzky's. Yep.
On Gretzky's scoring thing, right? So I don't watch hockey, but I want to draw parallels from the two sports. Whereas though, the former players and the people that's commenting on this record that's about to be surpassed, right? Do they talk about Ovechkin not being as good as Gretzky? Do they talk? Do they do? They
absolutely.
talk like
that? You hit the nail on the head, right? Because it's absolutely a parallel of LeBron getting the scoring title and the length of time that he's done it. Right. Ovechkin, it's a huge milestone. It's going to be celebrated, but everybody knows Gretzky did it in 2/3 of the time that Ovechkin did it.
Right. Right. I was wondering about that. I say I'm gonna ask Jim. I say when we get on, I'm gonna ask Jim. Do you hear about former players saying, and Brett Hall and all of them? Do they say? And I'm just using examples of names. I just know off the top of my head. I don't know Mario Lemieux, things like that. Are they coming out saying, well, he's not as good?
Yeah, nobody's saying it, but that's kind of the chatter. Is look, Ovechkin, he's lasted this long. He's great. He's going to have the title. Everybody knows who's the greatest hockey player ever.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was just saying that because the NBA, because that's the one I'm tuned into. Yeah. I know NFL doesn't do it. The NFL doesn't do it at all. You'll never see. I ain't gonna say never, but you might have the Mahomes, Brady comparison, things like that. But I don't hear a lot of guys, that used to play the game come out and take shots at Mahomes and be like, "Oh man, Johnny Unitas was better," or just that and this, and he's not this and he's not that. The way I do with the NBA, and a lot of times these guys in the NBA that's saying it, i.e. Kendrick Perkins, is not even on these guys' level to even comment. You know what I'm saying? Charles Barkley, yeah. Shaq, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But Kendrick Perkins, come on, man. Give me a break, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but he can come out and comment and say, oh, man, he's not this, he's not that, or whatever. And I just want to know across other sports. I don't hear it in baseball either. I don't hear somebody say, well, man, he ain't as good as Hank Aaron, or he ain't as good as Ken Griffey, or, you know, Frank Robinson, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know, did they do that? Did they do that in hockey?
Yeah, it's not as big of a comparison because people know.
Right.
Yeah, people know. Ovechkin, he might do it this year, and if he doesn't do it this year, what does he decide to do if he's like 1 or 2 away? Right? Does he start the season, get the record, and retire? What's he going to do?
Right.
I mean, if he's just chasing the record, he's just chasing the record. But everybody knows. Look, Gretzky did it in 15 years. He didn't have to do 22 years or whatever to do this. So yeah.
So let me ask you this, Jim. As far as like ranking players, you know, like all time in the hockey world, right? Where would you put Ovechkin? Is he top 5, top 10? Where would you put him?
Absolutely, he's up there with Gretzky and Lemieux and Bobby Orr and Gordie Howe. Yeah, he's up there.
Okay,
he's in the conversation for sure because he was showing when he hit the league. He's a Mario Lemieux style a player. He's fast, but he's big.
Right, he's big. Right. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted a little insight on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't follow the sport like that, and I just wanted to, you know what I mean, just get some parallels between, you know what I mean, across the top 4 sports. Because like I say, you know, baseball, I don't hear it that much. I don't hear, you know, without Ohtani, for instance. You know, Ohtani, he's the greatest talent. But I don't hear nobody's, oh, man, well, he's not as good as Willie Mays, or, you know what I mean, he ain't as good as Hank Aaron, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't hear that. It seems like they're more celebrated for what they're doing now as opposed to being compared, you know what I mean, from somebody else. That's all.
Now, but like, what if Ohtani would have said he was as good as those guys? Then that would, you know what I mean? Would that spark some, you know what I mean, some pushback?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so, like when anytime I make a comment about LeBron, that's where my point of view is coming from. Is like, you know the history of the game, or at least you had the opportunity to study the history of the game. Looking at Mike, you looking at Kobe and the moves they made and how, because I just posted a video of how Kobe studied Elgin Baylor, right? And you know, I mean, his footwork and how Elgin Baylor was able to get in the lane and stuff like that. So if you know the history of the league, and then when you come in and you try to almost like reinvent the wheel and you take another route, you are taking a big chance. You know what I mean? And so, and that's what I see between Kevin Durant and LeBron James. They tried to take a different route as far as like moving from team to team and then continuously building like that. Anytime you build something, you need a solid foundation. You need the right, not just the right 5 on the court, but you need, you know what I mean, you got to be under the right management. You know what I mean? You got to have the right coach. And so for these guys to be as talented as they are and won the championship, you know what I mean? That's commendable, right? LeBron got 4 championships. Kevin Durant got 2, right? But I just think, in my opinion, that if LeBron James and Kevin Durant had been able to stay in one city and got the kind of management around them, the kind of teammates around them, then they might have had an opportunity to blow Mike out of the water as far as being the GOAT. But I think that like the other components that made them great, that was it. You know, you can't.
But are they in control of the other components that you mentioned? The right foundation, the right base, having the right coach. Are they responsible for that? Go ahead, Clayton. Jump in.
LeBron absolutely had the right foundation in Miami. Now, I just got some inside information, and I can't say the person because the relationship they had. But according to my man, and I believe what he's telling me, LeBron and Pat Riley, LeBron had a problem with Miami and Pat Riley organization because Miami decided to retire Michael Jordan's 23 number.
Mm.
They wanted to, they didn't do it across the league. It was talk about doing it across the league, but Miami did it out of respect for what Mike did. And that made LeBron not be able to wear 23. That's why he chose number 6. He was taking another dig at Michael because Mike won 6 titles. So his whole idea and mindset was to erase Michael Jordan in terms of that 23 be recognized to him. So him and Pat Riley, him and the Miami organization had a problem right there. And Mike and when LeBron was on Pat McAfee talking about him and Mike don't have a relationship because he's still playing, according to my man, they don't have a relationship because Mike don't fuck with him. And the reason Mike don't fuck with him because Mike understand what he was trying to do in terms of erasing him completely. So some of that, LeBron could have stayed in Miami.
No way you can erase Michael Jordan. You can't.
But see that you that's to my point what I said earlier. You got LeBron taking the number 23. You got LeBron, you know, like imitating Mike in a whole bunch of different ways, and he actually came out his mouth and said that he wanted to erase Mike. He wanted to erase that number 23, right? So
no, he didn't say nothing like that. Mike ain't never said he wanted to erase no 23.
He said he wanted to erase the other number 23. But my thing is, could it have been a situation where Pat Riley actually was doing LeBron a favor by telling him, "Don't mess with that number." That number right there was untouchable. If Pat Riley,
I'm not saying what Clayton ain't saying is true, but another part of it, Pat Riley is structure, man. You know what I'm saying? Pat Riley is structure and discipline. If you're not going to be treated special here, you gotta remember, man. Pat Riley coached Kareem. Pat Riley coached Magic. You know, Pat Riley coached all-time greats. And when I was watching that thing on Netflix about the Lakers and the Celtics thing, man, and Pat Riley had rules that Magic and Kareem had to follow.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even no question who was in charge. I know you guys already heard about this story. One time, LeBron wanted to stay in town. He wanted to stay in Miami and hang out with Chris Paul and Carmelo, and then catch. So the team would leave him. Like the team would go like Thursday, for instance. LeBron wanted to stay in Miami, hang out with Melo, you know, his friends, whatever, and catch the next flight out, which would be that Friday. Pat Riley said, "No, you getting on this team flight, and we going to the next city." Now it ain't even no discussion about it. So I think LeBron always been treated special. You know what I mean? Sometimes guys, man, get into a situation where they're not being treated special anymore, man, and they don't know. You know what I mean? They don't know how to handle that. They don't know how to handle that.
And let me say this about that type situation, right? Like you said, Pat Riley brings all that experience and all that knowledge and all that wisdom to the table, right? And so that makes LeBron look like he was like a petulant type spoiled kid because he didn't want to fall under the tutelage that Pat Riley brought to the table. And so that's why I said that foundation, and for Pat Riley to say, "No, you can't wear that number 23," he knew from his wisdom that that's a hard, like, if you trying to be like, you can only be the best LeBron that you can be. You can't out Mike. You know what I mean? It's already been done. And so he sealed his fate when he wanted to be 23 and all that, and wanted to erase Mike when he could have forged his own path. That's the only chance you have.
Yeah. Well, and with Pat Riley, he did treat Magic special. And here's an example of it. He told Magic that he was going to have to increase his scoring output. But what he did was he went to Kareem first, and he let Kareem know, your point's going to come down because I need Magic to score a little bit more. But he gave Magic the green light. He allowed Magic to run his show. He referred to Magic and deferred to Magic a lot during their time together. I do think Magic got, but see, Magic wasn't the type of athlete to really, thrive in that special treatment. Magic was team first, so even if he was getting
he wasn't that
preferential treatment, he wouldn't show it.
I'm gonna tell y'all a coach who I admire, man, as a coach, Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
He coached Dallas and Miami Hurricanes, and he said, man, he don't subscribe to that saying, I'm gonna treat everybody the same. He said that he said it doesn't happen, and that's a lie, right? He said if Dan Marino, no, he said if the third string quarterback go to sleep in the meeting, I'm gonna cut him. He said if Dan Marino go to sleep in the meeting, I'm gonna wake him up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna say that, oh, I'm gonna treat everybody the same cross board. You're not. You're not gonna do that. And you know what I'm saying? And anybody that said that just goes along with the company saying. You know what I mean? That's the company line, so to speak. You don't treat everybody the same.
But I think that's the point though with Pat Riley is he knew who his guys were and how he could handle them. Right. So even giving Magic Johnson a little more room to be Magic Johnson.
Yes.
He still had Kareem in the locker room where Kareem could corral Magic as well.
Right.
Kareem
more often than not, how like they just said, Magic team first. So he wasn't going to be like, you know, when it comes time when we need a shot, you know, the ball's still going to Kareem. Even though Magic, you know, had to pick up the scoring load, we know when we need a basket, we know who we going to. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah.
And you know what Magic did? Go ahead, Jim.
No, I was just going to say, Pat Riley knew who he had on the team. And he could trust that, hey, I can let Magic be Magic, but I can still, because Magic still, to your point, Tunk, he's going to be a team first guy, and he's going to work well with Kareem, and knowing that Magic still always looked up to Kareem.
Exactly.
And Magic went when Pat Riley came to Magic saying he needed him to score more. Magic went to Kareem and said, Kareem, I need you to teach me that hook. Teach me the hook. Yeah. And I thought that was great. Yeah.
He like, did you talk to Kareem?
Yeah, he asked me to talk to him. Then he went to Kareem. You got to show me that hook. I need to add something to my bag, you know.
Right. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I'm gonna share something else my friend said. Like I said, I can't put his name to it, but I thought he made an interesting point as it pertained to LeBron going to Pat McAfee. He said that of course he was taking a shot at Stephen A by doing that because those two are competitive on the same network. But he was saying that LeBron has always been very pro-black, uplifting black people in the community and stuff like that. He says so he could have went to another person, maybe like the All the Smoke podcast or somebody else, and gave them that interview. If he was so pro, you know, trying to uplift his people and things of this nature. I thought that was interesting. I don't have an opinion about it one way or the other, but that is a very interesting point because it makes him look hypocritical in a sense.
No, I think both can be true in the same sense. I mean, just because he went on Pat McAfee's show, I don't think it negates the other side of it. But he definitely went on Pat McAfee's show as a shot at Stephen A.
Absolutely.
He definitely did that as a shot at Definitely.
Yeah, but whoever he sat down with, whoever he would have sat down with, he would empower it and he would have uplift their platform, whoever it was. So he had an opportunity to take somebody lesser and uplift them.
Well, let me say this: even before he went to the Pat McAfee, he had the podcast with JJ Redick. He's ready to do a podcast now with Steve Nash. Right, he's ready to do a podcast with Steve Nash. You know that his guy is Draymond. He'd never been on Draymond's podcast.
Yep. He could have took it to Draymond. Yep.
Right. Yeah. So you know, like he say one thing, but his actions show something else.
No, his actions show that he pro-black, Mike. His actions show that. His actions show that, Mike. Yeah. His actions show that. And I ain't just talking about podcasts. I'm just talking about just him as a man and his business ventures and things like that.
Yeah.
He shows that he's pro-black. Yeah. But I don't want to get off into that. But Clayton says right. Whatever podcast he went to, you know what I'm saying? He would have uplifted them and things like that. A lot of them podcasts, like the Up and Smoke podcast, right? I don't watch them as much as I used to. Yeah. But they come across sometimes, not all the time. Let me preface that. It's like a clownish type show. It's like a clownish type show a whole bunch of, you know what I mean, song and dance type stuff, man. My son put me down with this with Steven Jackson. He went somewhere and he said he had to check in on the block somewhere. Some dudes in some state he had to check in, right?
In Chicago.
It was okay. So y'all familiar with that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying this, man. You know what I mean? Do what you want. You grown. You do what you want, right? But I think that part of stuff, that part of things that LeBron don't want to be associated with. The stuff like that. I'm not going to the host and feel like he got to go in with dudes on the block. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just different. You know what I'm saying? It's just different, and that's something I don't even want to, you know what I'm saying, associate with a dude that feels as though he has to do that and then promote that he's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Go ahead, Clay. Go ahead.
Check this out, Tom. But Kobe Bryant sat down with all the smoke.
And that's Kobe Bryant's decision. And I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying.
I'm not knocking that. Yeah. But I like the other one. What's the other one called? Ryan Clark and them. What's that called?
Oh, the pivot. Yeah.
Right. Now, see that one? Yeah, I love that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But what's the name of them, man? Because look, real quick, Matt Barnes was telling him one time about him and Derek Fisher has got past that little whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they had, you know what I'm saying? Y'all all know the situation.
Yep.
He said, man, we passed that. Steven Jackson, like, no, fuck that. No, you know what I mean? Just that and this, I wouldn't be past it. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, no, and Derek Fisher has helped raise his boys. He's helping raising his sons. He's supporting his stepchildren.
Yeah.
He's supporting them and everything. So Matt Barnes like, no, man, we passed that. Whatever. Steven Jackson, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I still, you know what I mean? So that guy, I look at that. That's why one of the reasons I don't watch it as much as I used to. But you know what I mean? But no, I ain't blaming LeBron for not going to talk to them clowns, man. I ain't blaming him for that, man.
No, I'm just throwing one example out there. He could have went to Draymond. He could have went to so many different outlets.
I forgot all about it.
He could have came and sat down with the urban platform. You know,
That's right.
Mike would have came to the floor.
I think though, I don't think it's a good look for him not to have been on the Pivot or Draymond show though. I don't think it's a good look. I think I don't know. You know, if like I said, and then on top of that, it's like far as him being for the culture, he got caught up in the Drake and what's the other guy? That beef with them. So if you're
the dude
from California.
Yeah.
So he got, you know what I mean? Like he dancing to, like, who gonna tell you what song you could dance to? You're a grown man. But you know, I'm like, man, that's crazy. So, you know, I just think that his judgment, I think some of the calls that he made, and let me say this about like athletes, those top tier athletes like Mike, LeBron, and Kobe, all of those guys in their own right are assholes, right? So, you know what I mean? You could, like, if you ask somebody, a lot of people didn't like them. But the thing about LeBron is, if you know, you that kind of person, and nobody know you're an asshole until you open your mouth. Like Mike really don't give a whole lot of interviews. Kobe, you know, he gave a limited amount of interviews. So you gotta be very careful with who you talk to, how you talk to, and under what circumstances. You know, if it's about basketball, and then, you know, if you talk to those guys, they just giving you basic general, you know, like cookie cutter type answers. You know, they're not really, because people think that they are out of touch, which probably they are. You know, LeBron James been a rich man since he was 19. So he is, you know, he been rich longer than he was ever poor.
Yep.
So he not really relatable.
Yep.
And that's not his fault. But then you got to have somebody that's media trained around him to know that, all right, man, you know, move like this or move. That's why I said certain decisions that he made throughout his career didn't really strike me as wise. They just struck me as somebody who was just doing what they want to do because they thought that they had.
You know what, Mike? To your point, and I don't even think this still is a rule when it comes to colleges or whatever. But remember John Thompson, when he was at Georgetown, he wouldn't let freshmen give interviews.
Exactly.
He wouldn't let freshmen give interviews. Yeah.
Cheney, the guy Cheney was like that with the guy Cheney at
John
Temple.
Cheney at Temple. I know that. I ain't know John Cheney.
He was the same way.
Yeah, you wasn't giving no interviews.
Right.
You know,
like you say, they not well versed. you can trick them into saying something they shouldn't be saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Right.
That's all right,
So,
though, man. I like that. I like that.
And that's been, to me, that's like been a big flaw of his career, is not being wise enough or having the people around him enough to let him know that, you know, like some of these decisions is going to come back and bite you. You know, and
question. Do y'all think that contract Stephen A got? Do y'all think that he got that contract because he was feeling? Because the dude Pat McAfee, I didn't know this when he signed with ESPN, he already had a major following.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. So do you think Stephen A might have been feeling like a little heat from Steve McAfee? That's why ESPN like, no, you still our guy. We're gonna reward you with this contract, man. No need to feel, you know what I'm saying, a certain way about it. We still riding with you. Do you think that was behind that contract a little bit?
So I think there's a lot more to it under the cowers.
Okay.
Pat McAfee has always done his own thing, and you talk about being kind of, you know, a clownish, immature kind of podcast. Right. It works for them because they lean into it and they say, yeah, we're just idiots, right? Mm-hmm. But they talk about every and any sport. They uplift just about everybody, and it's a fun watch.
Okay.
But so they had a following that cuts across all sports, a lot of demographics, and that's why ESPN grabbed onto them. Now, ESPN's paying them, but there's a lot of there's people at ESPN that absolutely hate Pat McAfee. Yeah. So and Pat McAfee, being Pat, is not shy about airing that dirty laundry on his podcast.
He said
it. He'll call out names executives at ESPN. Right. So there's some conflict going on behind the scenes at ESPN.
Right.
And Pat McAfee has taken the stance of, you want to get rid of us? Fine, we got the viewers. We don't care.
Yeah.
And so ESPN's in the spot of, okay, where are we going to put our money?
Right.
And so I think however that worked in to Stevens' contract negotiation, that somehow ESPN's making the decisions based off of both of those things. And bringing this all the way back around, I'm sure that's why LeBron showed up on Pat's show.
Yeah. Well, Steven was very vocal after Pat signed his contract.
Yes.
He was like, I'm all for him getting his money, but my contract's coming up. Yeah. He wasn't shy about saying it at all.
That's what Stephen A said when Pat McAfee came over?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
He's never been shy about it.
Yeah. I ain't know. I ain't know.
Okay. So look, with the Pat McAfee situation though, and Pat McAfee benefited. It's like a timing type situation with Pat McAfee, right? Because you had this new social media age, and he was able to build his platform outside of ESPN, which gave him leverage, right?
Yep.
And so, like a lot of times when you apply for a job, you know, they don't know what impact you're going to have on a job. But now when this guy comes with his own base, so now they be like, okay, we feel comfortable with giving you X amount of dollars because you already have this base.
He built it, and he went and he got a great deal at Barstool.
At Barstool, yep.
And whatever happened there, it was the same kind of thing where it ended up becoming a rocky road, and Pat was like, I got the viewers, I'm out, and Barstool missed out.
So that's leverage right there when you build your base like that, and then you go to. You go to these and don't they do that now in the record industry, right? It used to be like in the record industry, they used to find talent, develop talent, and then market the talent, right? And so now they want to know like how much how much following that you have.
That's every industry. That's every industry now, pretty much, Mike. Across the board. Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know. What's your social media followers? How many followers you have? I don't care what it is, whether it's writing books, music, art, whatever. They're looking at your social media presence because they don't want to do the legwork. They don't want to do the legwork anymore, and they don't want to invest in something and hope to get a return. If you already have a big base, it's guaranteed a certain return. So that's everybody.
So they taking on more risk because they got to invest more. Yeah.
And even movie producers and directors, if you got a big social media, they'll find a little spot for you in their movie because your viewers, your following is going to tune in just to see you in it. So that's more eyes on them. So everybody's doing it.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just good marketing.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So
what's up with this tournament, man? What's up with this tournament, man? What's y'all? Anything that's surprising y'all? Is there anything that y'all think y'all got a favorite in mind? Y'all got a dog horse in mind? Run it down for me. What y'all think?
I mean, I'm looking forward to that Duke game tonight. Duke, who are they playing? Duke and Alabama.
Yeah, Duke, Alabama. Duke's gonna win.
Everybody's saying they're the favorite now. Everybody, you know, I've been hearing talk saying that if Duke lose any time going forward, they'd be surprised. They think Duke is like going.
Well, this is the game that they might can get them. Alabama, that's going to be a challenge. But other than that, yeah, Duke, my national champion. But Jim is the one eating everybody up on the pool. So, but he got Florida winning it.
Florida over Duke. I got Florida Duke.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't know Florida scored like that. I didn't know Florida scored the ball like that, man. Florida, they fill it up. Man, who was the team that hit the 25 threes? Who was that? It was the team that in around the 16 hit 25 3-pointers in the game. Who was that?
I heard it too.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
That Texas Tech, Texas A&M. Who was that? I don't know. It was a team that made 25 3-pointers in the game.
Oof.
Wow.
25 3-pointers.
Yeah,
I can't remember who it was either.
Yeah, man. It's now. Did y'all see any of the games from yesterday? I watched LSU and NC State. That was a good game on the women's side.
You talking on the women's side? I watched that game.
Yeah, that was a good game.
You see, old girl. They shut Plage down, but that girl, Morrow, she had a game, man.
Yeah.
Anissa Morrow, she had a game. She put up 30, man. She put up 30. But the thing I love the best is when the game got nick and tuck, Michaela Williams in the fourth quarter, she took over.
Yeah.
She took over. That girl smooth, man. She is smooth. Hit the three, mid-range, go to the basket. Michaela Williams is smooth. Huh?
Did y'all see the Maryland, South Carolina game? Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
So now with Maryland, I just thought that the Maryland girls was they hung in there for as long as they could, but I thought that, like that constant pressure, like I said, with South Carolina, you just can't pinpoint one. It's like having your finger in a dam. Like when you put your finger in one thing, you know what I mean? Then Dawn Stanley have her team do something else. So you really couldn't it wasn't nothing you could take away from them. Like, all right, if we take this, take their inside presence.
So it was like a 5-point. It wound up being like a 5-point game. Was the game that close or not really?
Yes.
Well, I didn't get the feeling South Carolina wasn't in control though.
Oh. Yeah, but it was down the stretch. It was really close. Maryland gave them a game, and that girl Fuwali, I don't know why she not starting, but she had to take over down the stretch.
I think it's good coaching for Dawn Stanley not to have Fuwali starting because Fuwali sometimes can be like her shot selection won't allow her team to like get into that rhythm that they're used to, right? Because her shot selection and her decision making on the floor sometimes is questionable. But if you need somebody to do what she did yesterday to get you a bucket, she more than capable of doing that. That's her forte, no doubt about that.
While we on the women's, did y'all see the list? I think it was an ESPN list. Top 10 women's college players of all time. Did y'all see that list?
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. A lot of people thought that Caitlin Clark should have been in the top 5.
Yeah. Well, Fox put her number 2.
Yeah,
so Fox counted.
Somebody said, that's the one I saw in Clayton. That's the one that had number 2.
Yeah, they counted ESPN's list.
Yeah.
They had a number 2.
Yeah, Aspen had number 2, and they had Cheryl Miller, I think, number 5, I think.
Yeah.
Cheryl Miller like number 5, and Cheryl Miller ain't number 5. You know what I mean? she ain't number 5. You know what I mean?
Well, ESPN had a number 5 too.
Really? Yeah. She ain't number 5. I know that.
I feel you.
Yeah, she ain't number 5.
Mike and fellas, nobody in the tournament on the women's side got an answer for Lauren Betts at all. South Carolina, Notre Dame, LSU, nobody has a big that can mess with this girl at all.
Who she play for, Clayton? Who she play for?
UCLA.
I watched her last night, right? Oh, and she in the paint, she was giving them that work in the paint.
Dog, she gets so deep in the post. The girl hit 31 points on 16 shots. She missed 1 shot from the field. That's because she's getting it so deep in the post. And her footwork is impeccable. She's getting it up, man. She is getting it up. And then when you add the other girls around and Kiki Rice and some of the other girls, they knocking down their open shots and stuff. UCLA plays good defense too. She's a rim protector. You
can't push her out. She too strong. She's
too big.
Yeah,
she's 6'7" and solid.
Yeah.
But look, you know who countered her though? The girl from USC, the teammate of Juju Watkins. She looked pretty good in that low post too.
Yeah, but Kiki didn't slow Betts down. Juju was coming over with the help D.
Oh yeah.
That's what.
She gonna get paid. She gonna get paid to do what she do. Right? Yeah, she needs some help down there.
Yeah, I mean, I love Kiki. I love Kiki Erfin. But when they beat UCLA twice, that's because Juju was playing wrong. She was roaming, and when Lauren got that ball, Juju came down with the help D. But 1-on-1. And look, and Kiki, she dunking in layup lines and shit. Yeah. Kiki Erfin, she dunking in layup lines.
So listen, Clayton. How does she pass out of the double team? Because I think what you're saying is you gotta double her. The girl from UCLA, you gotta double her, right?
No, she was going up for the shot, and Juju was blocking it. She look last night. She was beating the triple team.
Yeah.
She was splitting the triple team. Yeah. Just like, cause ain't nobody got the size to match her.
Right, because sometimes if somebody down, you try to make them pass out of it. You know what I'm saying?
She passes out of it. That's what Kiki Rice and them other girls get open shots. But for the most part, she getting it so deep in the post, you can't do nothing.
Who do you have them playing in the final, Clayton?
I had UCLA Notre Dame. And TCU right now giving Notre Dame a run. But Notre Dame then climbed back and went back on top. This is a good game right now.
Right, yeah.
Notre Dame.
They playing that.
So you got Notre Dame up, and so you got Tennessee and Texas. What y'all think about on the women's side, that Tennessee and Texas game?
Texas, man.
Texas.
Yeah.
Texas. Yeah. They play that D, man. They play that D. Yeah.
So then you got the other game in the Sweet 16. You got Oklahoma and UConn. That's going to be a good game. Number 2 versus number 3.
Oklahoma shocked me, man. I watched them play Iowa. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Oklahoma.
And now they getting that girl Chavez going to be added to that roster.
That's going to be crazy. I saw some highlights of that young lady Chavez, and she played like a guy for real. I ain't trying to be disrespectful, but she played like a you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's blazing fast. She's lightning fast.
And she's strong. She is solid on her. Like she gonna get you where she want to get you on the court. She's strong like that with the ball.
And this is all love to Mexicans, but she's Mexican. They tough. Yeah. Physical. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I know she's solid and she's strong. And she gets you where she want to get you on that court.
Yeah. So
I like her going to now this is gonna be a good game. Kansas State and USC, right? I think because Juju is missing, Kansas State might have a punches. You
They
still
got
don't
a
think
shot.
so?
Man, no. UCLA gonna get past them too. Man, Kiki. People don't even realize Kiki game goes up when Juju out.
Yeah.
That's been true all year. And you saw the other night, she went for 36 or 34. I don't think they lose. I think they beat Kansas State. Now they won't. I think if they beat the next round, they might be in trouble. But nah, they get past this game, I believe.
So all right, so now, but Kiki is not. Now they're gonna be keying on Kiki because they know Juju not there, right? So do she have enough of a supporting cast?
Yes.
I think USC beats K-State.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that UConn game's going to be a too big of a hill.
That's going to be too big of a hill. UConn. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I mean, that's going to be tough for UConn, you mean, right?
No,
like
USC.
No, USC.
Y'all got UConn making the Final Four?
So y'all got UConn getting past Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, that's going to be tough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't have UConn in the Final Four. I had USC.
Yeah.
But yeah, who could have foreseen the injury?
Yeah. And speaking of the injury, Mike, this is what I mean. Okay. I said this coach running that girl into the ground too many minutes. It's not a coincidence that Juju blew her right knee out because she rolled her left ankle. This is how it works. It zigzags. I know this from studying anatomy. So now she got a tender left ankle, and it makes sense that she threw her right knee out.
But you got to compensate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't care. I mean, I'm not accusing them, but I know for a fact that left ankle sprain had a lot to do with that right knee going out.
Yeah. You know what? That made me think. I got a left knee that's bad, so I don't want my right hip to blow out. So I gotta be careful.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, you might have right pain in your lower back.
Yeah.
That's how it works. This is how it works.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's
I
true.
know that. Yeah. Well, one side is messed up. The other side will compensate, and that's how you get it.
Yeah.
As soon as she did, I sent y'all a text. I was like, dang. I knew it was that, but I didn't want to say that. I was like, dang. First quarter,
So look, the women's games got some good games coming on tomorrow too. They got Duke and South Carolina. That's gonna be a good game.
That's gonna be a good one, but Duke ain't ready. Duke got a good coach too. I like her. She's a good head coach.
Is that the one with the dark hair?
Yeah, the curly dark hair.
Right? She been that wild, right?
Yeah.
Well,
And I want to say one other thing, Mike. If anybody out there listening, they got a thing online. They trying to drag Caitlin because she said that she sent her thoughts and prayers to Juju. She said the kid gonna come back better than ever. And people think that was a way of Caitlin trying to son Juju, saying how you gonna call her kid? What they don't understand is kid is another name for baby goat. So what she was saying in a clever way, she was calling Juju a baby goat. And everybody online going crazy over that, and they don't get it. Kelsey Mitchell did the same thing about Caitlin. She kept calling her kid. A kid is a baby goat. I just wanted to say that. If anybody out there listening and they've been hearing that bullshit online, that young lady did not try to son Juju. She was calling that girl a goat.
Yeah, I mean, they twist everything publicly anyway. So it's tough. Yeah. Another good game that's going to be on tomorrow on the women's side is LSU and UCLA. And that come on tomorrow at 3:00.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be a wait.
Kim Mulkey's going to have the team ready, but I just don't think they don't have the horses to get over the UCLA. Yeah,
I gotta agree with you there, Jim. So, but
LSU almost stumbled against NC State.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but NC State's got a good team.
Yeah,
them guards are so fast, man. My goodness, they so quick.
and athletic. You know what I mean?
And athletic. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yep.
all right, let me see. I want to see like what's going on the men's side.
There you go.
All
right, Jim.
This guy, what's his name? Cooper, man. And they put who is Duke playing tonight?
Alabama.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. We're gonna have to.
Alabama's a 1 seed, aren't they?
Alabama's a 2 seed.
They 2.
Oh.
Yeah, they 2 seed.
Duke's the 1. I mean, Alabama was the number 1 seed during the season, but they had a couple of that SEC was a tough conference this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we were talking about that at the job yesterday, man. You know, SEC is more known for football, but in this tournament, they had the most teams selected out of that SEC conference.
Yeah,
I mean, they've leveraged the NIL and the portal, and because when you got the money, you can attract the cats. You know?
So, Tom, was you on here earlier when we was talking about how they merging because of that money that's involved with the NIL?
No, I wasn't on it for that, but I agree with it.
Yeah. And so that's I think they done made the SEC and them schools down south that made so much money from football.
Right.
And now they can afford to pay a basketball team, you know. Yep. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. So look, y'all, who do y'all like in this tomorrow? Texas Tech and Florida.
I mean, I got Florida winning the whole thing.
You got Florida going the distance.
Yeah.
Yep. Texas Tech gonna get with him, Jim.
You just need me to fall off a bit.
Actually, man, because if Florida get bumped, I mean, that's 2 of my Final 4 because Auburn already gone. Florida be gone. So I don't know if that really would help me, you know.
Yeah, my bracket is just holding on for Duke. That's about it. That's the only thing that saved my bracket is Duke.
Yeah. You got Duke winning it all, Mike?
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
My Final 4, I got Michigan State, Florida, Duke, and Houston.
Michigan State.
Them guys always got a invitation to the Elite 8 or Final 4, man.
Michigan State.
Yeah,
you like Izzo, don't you? You like Izzo that much, Jim?
I like Izzo.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Izzo.
Yeah, Izzo can coach.
Yeah.
He a holdover from the old school coaches, you know, him and Bruce Pearl.
And yeah,
Well, Bruce Pearl is still a holdover from the old school. Izzo, Patino, and Calipari. You got a couple of them old school dudes still hanging on.
Man, we praise Calipari only for him to blow it.
Yeah,
but I think he might have overachieved a little bit this year too.
Nah, man, he had the horses, don't.
I think he might. Nobody picked them to go to no Elite 8 or Final 4 this year.
Yeah. That's true, but a slow start. But when you watch that team, they got horses, dog.
They're long.
It's no way should have lost to Texas. He don't take a timeout. I don't care if that's how you've been playing all year or not. In that situation, you gotta call a timeout and set something up, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
that's Calipari, man. That's always been to me. That's always been his Achilles heel, so to speak. You know, anybody knows a hell of a recruiter. He gonna get the guys in there. It's always been almost like the X's and O's type thing that he kind of like falls short on, man. You know what I mean? It's probably real fun to play for him, though. It's probably real fun to play for him.
Who did Houston play last? Did they play last night?
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
Who did they beat? They pulled it out at the end, right?
They did. Purdue gave them a run. And
Houston.
What's the name coaching them? Ain't that Cable coaching them? Ain't that Cable that's coaching Houston? You know Jeff Cable father. Cable.
No, I don't know.
No, that ain't.
I don't think so.
No, that ain't.
No. Who is? Oh, I know this. Oh,
That ain't him.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, I got a feeling Houston gonna get bumped. You got them in your Final Four?
I do.
Yeah, they got Tennessee next.
Are they at 1 seed?
Houston
Houston is number 1, Tennessee is number 2.
Yeah, I had Houston too.
I watched that Tennessee game last night, and they've got some great scores, but they were very hesitant to drive all the way in.
Okay.
It's like they got the guys to get it done, but they didn't have anybody that would just take over and drive in. And I think they're well coached. They got the dudes, but they looked a little hesitant.
Yeah.
They got the dudes.
They got the dudes. They just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was impressed by that game last night because they struggled at times, but they played well. And Kentucky just couldn't get in there and make a run. But I think Tennessee could have won by a lot more because they just looked tentative.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, man. Now what's going on in the NBA? Hey, did y'all see that guy show? I sent y'all the how the Lakers lost that game like this. They gave up like 9 points in 12 seconds, something like that.
To the Bulls.
But on top of that, see, that's gonna be their Achilles heel in the playoffs. They gave up 45 points in the fourth quarter. Chicago scored 45 points in the fourth quarter. And that's gonna be I think that's gonna be their Achilles heel. They really don't have size like that. And Luka still don't play defense. And LeBron's 67 years old. So you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be their problem, I think.
Well, let's keep it real. They had to make the half court shot to win.
Right.
That's true.
That's true.
But that turnover
yes.
by LeBron, that was a gimme. Come on.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know why he was trying to get the ball to Reeves anyway. He could have inbounded it to anybody. Why was he? It seemed like he was just trying to, he had to get it to him,
He was sleepwalking.
Yeah.
And that pass looked real lackadaisical. It almost looked like
real slow and telegraphed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you expect that kind of pass from somebody you consider to be your GOAT?
Oh, Mike, man, would you stop it?
Hey,
get out here, man.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Tom. That pass. When I seen that pass pissed me off, man. That pass pissed me off because I'm not.
It was a horrible pass, but that's not no determining factor, Mike.
No, it's not. It's not. But I'm like, you don't make that pass. You don't do that.
Any chance, man. Any chance to pile on.
Mike gonna do it. Mike gonna get it in. Mike gonna get it in.
I respect you.
But
on top of that, when Getty get the ball and he running to make that shot, like why no more? You don't contest that shot a little bit more.
Hey,
you talk about professional athletes, professional basketball players.
He used to play for OKC.
Yeah.
What happened with that? He was a free agent and left. He got traded. What happened with that?
He just got traded.
Okay. They were talking on Sport Talk Radio. I was listening to. They were saying, man, if they can find a way to get just wishing if Cooper Flag could go there, Chicago with what's the name of them? That'd be a good pairing.
Kobe White.
Right. And Cooper Flag and the guy Getty.
Speaking of that, and going back, and we on the topic of LeBron and Lakers lost, but I'm going back to the conversation he had. Did you guys catch what he implied about the NBA draft?
Oh no, I ain't see that.
Oh, he made the statement that when the ball dropped, he said, "You mean tell me Cleveland gets the first pick?" He said they was all about keeping me in Cleveland, to imply that the lottery was rigged.
Yeah.
Now, is this the first time you ever heard that the lottery was rigged?
He implied it. He didn't say it. Go back and watch Pat McAfee. After he talked about Wendy,
I
he
always
said,
think it's rigged. I heard him. I always think it's rigged, though. I think it was the first lottery with Patrick going to the Knicks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought that was rigged.
He brought that up because he said to Patrick Ewing first.
Right.
He brought that up. And he said, let's keep LeBron in Cleveland. Yes. Yes.
If you're LeBron James, why you making those kind of comments publicly though?
That is very interesting.
It don't matter. Look, whoever got an opinion about him, it ain't gonna change one way or another.
Nope.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna push back.
I know where you're going, Mike. Go for it.
Throughout his whole NBA career, we just talked about how he's been battling and chasing that ghost of Michael Jordan, right? And so now that he is on retirement, even in retirement, he will still be chasing that ghost of Michael Jordan, especially when it comes to Nike, right? Michael Jordan, like nobody sells as much merch as far as basketball players as Michael Jordan, right? And you know, and so LeBron James is going to be number 2 in that race when it comes to that. So he's still going to be chasing Mike even in retirement.
I thought you was going somewhere else, Mike. I thought you was going somewhere else in terms of if you make an indictment like that against the league and yet you want to be an owner at some point.
That's another good point.
You know,
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
No, that's where I thought you were going.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Both of y'all make good points, but I'm saying maybe he is convinced and comfortable accepting of the fact that he won't catch him. So what do I care what I say now? I'm gonna be out of the league in a couple years. What do I care? Whatever, like I said, whoever opinion you have of him, good or bad or in between, it's not gonna change. So it don't matter, you know what I'm saying? I ain't biting my tongue no more. I'm say what I want, say what I feel.
Yeah, but you don't want to burn too many bridges though, Tom.
Right. Well, you don't care about burning bridges if you got aspirations to do something different. If you don't have no aspirations, like Clayton said, like saying he said, well, I don't want to be an owner no more. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? You burn bridges. He got a lifetime contract with Nike. Yeah, well, so what's gonna happen? My man, my family, generations behind me are set. You know what I'm saying? He done built the school, sending people to college. I mean, that's not going to affect none of that. You know what I mean?
But now you calling the integrity of the sport in question. So if you do want to be still a part of the league, ownership and stuff, that's not a good look. Also, I'm glad he said it because I'm a firm believer in things being orchestrated. And you get little crumbs, you get little light shined on this stuff. A lot of this stuff is set up. That's why I say I won't be surprised San Antonio get the #1 pick and grab Cooper. I won't be surprised.
I
won't be surprised.
That reminds me of what Jim said, like when people have that FU money, right?
Yeah.
I don't think LeBron James, when you want to mess with the league or you want to mess with Nike, I don't think you could have enough FU money to mess with those guys.
I don't think Nike took it as like it's an indictment against us. I can see the league.
Yeah,
Nike took it like, you know what I'm saying? It's something bad for you to say about the enemy. The only good thing is David Stern ain't stealing commission.
Yes. Yes. That's a fact.
That's the only good thing. David Stern, you know, man, he done fined them, suspended them off. So he couldn't do that while he was still commissioner.
It definitely would have been a closed door meeting after that podcast.
You wouldn't need I think this far into his career, like if David Stern was there, he wouldn't even be making these kind of comments. David Stern didn't,
You know, he ruled with an iron fist, man, and he was unopposed, man. You know what I mean? David Stern, you know what I mean? He rolled with an iron fist, just like when he got rid of them agents. You know what I mean? When they went on strike, and you know what I mean? He blamed the agents for it. So that's when he started coming up with them max contracts and all that stuff. You know what I mean? He rendered them agents obsolete. So what you need an agent for if you can't get no more than this? You already slided. You know what I'm saying? You already slided. So what you need an agent for?
Well, they still got him for outside off the court stuff.
They still have
brand deals and things like that.
Because the contract is like you already slided in it, you know what I mean? You can't get no more than what it is right now.
Well, that's why you got football. You got players now who mother represent them and stuff like that. You know,
you got one player who mother represents them.
Though,
she ain't his mom. She his sister though. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, now she's an agent.
That's not his mom, but
she's an agent.
She's an agent.
Yeah, she's got several clients.
Right.
Not just Jalen. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought that was interesting too. That he implied that.
Look, he said that about what's his name, staying in Chicago. Remember, Derrick Rose. He said
Yeah.
Derrick Rose. Chicago got the number 1 pick. They picked Derrick Rose.
They picked
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
So
Well,
if it ain't fixed, it's a hell of a coincidence. If it ain't fixed,
Well,
I'll be convinced if he goes to San Antonio, but if he ends up at the Wizards, then we'll.
oh man, you know,
I was just ready to say that. I was just ready. How come the Wizards they should have more number 1 picks than anybody?
now listen, I wouldn't bet that he'd go like Clayton said. I wouldn't bet he'd go to San Antonio, but I would bet he won't go to the Wizards. I would bet he won't go to the Wizards. That's for sure. That's for sure.
If I'm Cooper Flag and the Wizards draft me, I threaten to go play overseas. I'm not
Well, he can stay in college. He can stay in college.
He stay in school, right? He stay in school, right?
Yeah, I take some more basket weaving classes. You know what I mean? Like, nah, man, sign me up.
I'm gonna take TV. Let me say TV, like in blue chips. Like, man, I'm gonna TV. I'm gonna take TV. I'm gonna major in TV.
Mm-hmm.
But
let me ask y'all this about the NBA. Do y'all still feel like Cleveland will go down to Boston? Jim, did you say that you think that Boston was going to beat them, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So y'all still feel like that?
I do.
Yeah, I mean,
depends on how hurt Tatum is.
Yeah.
I'm talking. You know, like with a healthy Tatum, I'm thinking that's going to be a tough series right there if they meet.
But
not if Porzingis play.
Yeah,
it's not.
It'd be a tough series. I wouldn't have him in Boston running through him, but I definitely got him beating him.
Yeah.
I definitely got him beaten. Like you say, everybody being healthy. You know what I mean? Everybody. Right. You know, I got Boston beaten.
Once you insert Porzingis back in the lineup, I just don't think Cleveland got an answer at all.
His presence is the one that makes it more difficult because you got guards who are 6'2" and 6'3". You get past your man, and then you have to deal with a dude that's over 7 feet tall. Yeah, that's a
man. What's the name is long up front. You know what I mean? Cleveland is long up front. Right. But I think team-wise, Boston plays better defense.
Yeah.
I think team-wise, they play better defense.
Yeah. So y'all still got the now what about the Knicks? What y'all think about the Knicks?
Hey, somebody hurt for the Knicks, ain't they?
Brunson.
Damn. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's big on. And y'all was speaking about coaches running, players into the ground. You know, that's Tibbs. That's his MO, man.
Right.
That's Thibodeau MO, man. Running everybody. He's 6-7 man rotation all year. Yeah, man. He don't really play his bench guys, and
And I think the relationships have been fractured on that team. Some players mad that the guy came out and said that about him. Guys not getting enough rest, and then some players are on his side, and then him and the coach is at odds, and so I just think that whole thing created a little fracture within their team unity.
Yeah. Who said it? You remember?
What's the guy that said it? He came out and said it.
It wasn't Josh Hart. Was it Josh Hart?
No, it wasn't Hart. It wasn't Hart.
It was like the 6th man or the 7th man.
Yeah.
And he was saying that Tibbs don't use his bench guys like he don't.
Yeah. So in other words, when they get in the playoff runs, they ain't gonna have no legs left and stuff like that. We ain't getting enough time to break and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So
he came from Phoenix, right? He came from Phoenix.
He came from another team. Yeah, it might have been Phoenix.
I forgot it. But yeah, he did say that. I like Tibbs, but I do think he run his players into the ground. If he could get that kind of performance out of at least a 8-man rotation, then that'd be different. Yeah. 6, 7 people. 8 or 9. He needed like a 9-man rotation for the way he run those guys. Like,
did what's the name fall off? Carl Anthony Towns. He's still like maintaining his pace.
He's balling.
Yeah, he is. To my surprise, he is.
Yeah,
I thought he was going. Yeah, and fortunately for the Knicks, they have him this year. You know what I mean? If they didn't have him this year, then they'd have really fell off.
And they needed them too. They needed them too because you needed that second score. You know what I mean? To Brunson, you needed that second score. So, and you know what? He probably needed it. He probably needed to get out of Minnesota. He probably needed, change himself. You know what I'm saying? He probably needed change himself. Now, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think about what the Pistons is doing? What last year, what they win like 14 games. Now this year they up to like 42.
Yeah, they took a step up for sure. They've been playing pretty decent in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they in the last days, 7-3.
Man, he coaching, man. I know that because he pretty much got the same team that Monty Williams had. He pretty much got the same team that Monty Williams had, man. And look what he's doing with them guys, man. I don't see him or anything. All I do is check the box scores and the standards and things like that. So I haven't seen him, but whatever he's doing, it is working. Whatever he's doing is working.
I mean, they're not in the play-in.
Right. They're ahead of that. Right. So they what, like in the 5th or the 6th spot right now, I think.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, they number 5 right now. Yeah, they the Bucks, Milwaukee, they number 6. So,
man, the season Giannis is having. Say what you want. Say what you want. But that season that Giannis is having, he's having a season, bro.
Giannis is, but do you think he'll score 250 points in a game if he played in the 70s?
No.
That was exaggerated, but I definitely think he can make a run at 100.
Now, why is it? I'm gonna ask y'all all this question. We all old school, man. You know what I mean? We all old school, right? Why is it cool for them guys to talk disrespectful about this generation of ball players, but if this generation say anything about yesteryear's ball players, it's not. You know what I mean? It's man, everybody. You know what I mean? Clutching their pearls and stuff like that.
You want to know why? Why I think it's out of line?
Wow.
Say like when you talking to your uncle or you talking to your father, right? And your father will joke with you in a way that you're a grown man, but you still reserve a certain amount of respect for him because you know that there's a hierarchy to that relationship, right? You might have a good punchline, you know what I mean? He might say something that you think of a good punchline, but because of where your placement is on that hierarchy, you still got to show a certain amount of respect, So to me, I think that's part of the reason why. And then as far as athletes, I don't think athletes today, in my opinion, I think athletes are athletes. Like Wilt Chamberlain to me, I don't think that they bigger, stronger, faster now today than they was back then.
Man, you talk about Wilt, you talk about Big O, you talk about Jerry West, you talk about Elgin Baylor, you talk about that. You know what I mean? You talk about David Thompson. I mean, come on, man. You had athletes, man. You know what I mean? You definitely.
I think LeBron James could have played back then. I think David Thompson, I think he could have played. I think what's the other guy? A lot of those guys could swap eras. I think if you just
athletically for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's that big a gap like people say. You know what I mean?
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all a question. So, was Magic Johnson not ahead of his time and a phenom when he came in, being a 6'9" point guard? Absolutely. Wasn't that a form of evolution?
No, Magic Johnson
is. Remember, Big O was 6'7". You know what I'm saying? And he was a point guard.
Was he 6'7"?
Maybe
not. 6'6".
Maybe not. Maybe 6'6".
Was he even 6'6"?
I mean, he wasn't my height. You know what I mean? He wasn't my height. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying your height, but I don't know if he was 6'6".
If you look at, that's why I don't think Magic Johnson is like an anomaly or something like that, because you don't have. You don't have Magic now. You don't have nobody.
Penny Hardaway came into the league and was a 6'7" point guard. Then you got all kinds of bigs now that handle the ball and stuff. Come on. I mean, Magic is special. Magic is special with his court vision. I'm talking about athletically. It was a time when big, tall guys couldn't dribble like that. That's why they played the post. And Magic came along, and that's a whole nother story.
Who you got in the league that's like Magic Johnson now?
All them guys can handle the ball now. They can't. They don't have his IQ, but all those big guys, you got every guard damn near 6'7" now.
But all right. So we saying two different things.
Magic ain't 6'7". Clayton Magic, what was he, 6'10", 6'9"?
Magic was 6'9".
But the thing about
still,
if you saying you got 6'9" ball handlers, yeah. But you got 6'9" Magic Johnsons.
No, Magic is 1-on-1. But what I'm saying is, when Magic came, a 6'9" guy dribbling like that was an anomaly. Now, 6'9" guys handle the ball like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Today, Magic.
They not Magic though.
Yeah. Right. What you saying, Mike?
Magic, he's still an anomaly. Even in today's game, Magic Johnson would stand out. Like the Joker and Luka, they not on his level when it comes.
You misunderstanding my point.
Yeah,
Magic's IQ, his court vision, he's 1-of-1. Right. My point is, for a 6'9" player to dribble like that was unheard of. And now you have 6'9" guys, 6'10" dribbling the basketball. That is a form of evolution.
That's true. You got more big guys that can dribble than back.
Yeah, I'm not saying they Magic,
right.
But I'm just saying what Magic did. In the 70s, them guys like him and Bird dribbling like that was unheard of.
Yeah, I just think that I think I think it's like every certain amount of years you'll get a player like who has that physical, like LeBron James, like what he bring, like physically, like what LeBron is big like Karl Malone, but he moved like a guard. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's generational type. It's like genetics. You know, like so every once in a while you have somebody born with that certain type genetic type. Like LeBron to me is bigger and you know, like Michael Jordan don't have that type of strength or he not that type of size. LeBron James, like his physicality is just
and sports science has also developed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the sports science that we have today in the 70s. I mean, the 70s was a stone ages compared to what we have today.
Exactly.
But even the natural ability. Let's go back to the 70s. Yeah. How many 6'7" guys was dribbling the ball like that? Dr. Right. J could only dribble with one hand. It's right.
Do you say like how many guys were allowed to do it, or they just couldn't do it?
They couldn't. I mean, I watched Dr. J. He only could dribble with his right hand.
Well, let me say this.
And the systems didn't allow them to develop it.
That's the point. That's the point I'm making, Jim. That's the point I'm making, Jim.
I disagree with that.
I'm gonna come forward a little bit.
Yeah.
And the guy we all talked about before on the show more than once was a Ralph Sampson type. Ralph Sampson had skills of today's ball players back then in the 80s. He wasn't allowed because he was 7'4". He just wasn't allowed to display it.
He dribbled well for a 7'4" guy, but his dribbling 7'4" don't compare to these kids in the league now at all.
Well, I don't know.
That shit Wimby doing with a basketball, that's ridiculous.
But Brad Sellers, I always talk about Brad Sellers. He played for the Chicago Bulls.
He was 7 feet
not allowed to, Brad Sellers could do that.
Right.
Like you said,
not like Wimby.
But is that going to translate? He might be a little bit better ball handler, but is that going to translate into like what really matters though?
All I was giving the example is that evolution is a real thing. Yeah. And if you take some of these athletes and go back in time, their physical capabilities will give them an edge. That's all I'm saying.
So.
Okay.
You gotta be more than just physically talented, though. You know that, Clayton. You gotta be more than just
bro. Let me tell you something. If you got a quick first step and nobody can stay in front of you, that gives you an edge.
Right.
No matter how the way you put it.
So this is how I would do it then. If I can't stand in front of you because your first step, so that means I step back. So that means you gotta hit a jump shot now.
Okay. These kids can shoot. These kids can shoot.
It ain't like though, just because you got a first step now, you know what I mean, you're gonna average 50.
That was just an example.
Right. And I'm making mine to counter that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to jump.
All right, and I'm gonna say this: these kids can shoot. You ain't having such thing as a stretch big back in the day. No. Now you got bigs out there shooting threes.
That's not better to me though.
They shoot threes, but if you say like they mid-range game, you know what I mean? I wouldn't necessarily say they mid-range game is better than the guys back then.
I just think these. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, so the evolution of the game, and I feel where you're going with this, Clayton. The evolution of the game, this comes back to something that we've been harping on for a while now. The players have evolved, but now the way the game is played, and I sent this to our text chat, you got Indiana Pacers scoring 167 points the other day. So now it's just like, how do we evolve the rules of the game to adapt to how these players are playing today? Because that's a wild score.
Yeah,
I bet that was a boring ass game to watch.
Yeah.
It probably was. That's why I said, because, and part of the reason why those games are boring is because you take some of the elements out of, like, you know what I mean, like some of the defensive elements out of it. Basketball is a 5-position sport, right? Yeah. But now you basically, it's only about 2 positions now.
It's positionless now.
Yeah, everybody is playing. Everybody is a guard or a shooting guard or 2 guard.
Everybody wings now. Everybody wings now. Yeah, everybody wings now. Yeah.
Right. You guys trying to tell me though that Magic being 6'9" didn't give him an advantage over his opponents?
Hell yeah.
Because he could see over top of him.
Hell yeah, he did.
That's why I said everybody who was 6'9" after that should have been a Magic Johnson then, if that was evolution.
Because other people were that size as well.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. It depends.
Well, they tried to make Ben Simmons to be Magic Johnson when he first came out of LSU.
Yeah, I forgot about Ben Simmons.
Yeah, a lot of people forgot about him.
But Ben could handle that ball. He just couldn't shoot. He get downhill. He was very effective.
A lot of guys, the guards, you have guards who worked on those, the sham guard, the crossover, and all those different moves. But like all those moves, do they translate into more success on the court though?
Absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely not.
They more skill. You know what I mean? That's just like, you know what I mean? Some players can spin the ball on their finger. And some people can't, but that don't mean when it just when it boils down to it, it's just a different skill.
And that's more so that has been promoted, I say, in the last maybe 20, 25 years. Because they want you to put your own little stamp, your own personal touch on your game. And I think, and we talked about this too, this one with our old fuddy duddies come out. And I think that's why back in my day, it's more about individualism than winning now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's more about what I can do with the ball. I can dribble, I can do this and this, that, and this. And then, you know what I mean? How does that translate to success?
Let me ask y'all this. Do individualism, do that lead to more success, or do team basketball still win out? And as far as when you're talking about, like, I'm talking about like, as far as like how you manage your career. Like, should you be the kind of person that manage your career as far as like you want to be more of an individual, or do you accept like the team concept?
The team's not going to win unless the front office and the coaching staff can create a team that works together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you take individuals that have that can do what they do, right? Michael Jordan couldn't win the first few seasons being the great individual player he was until they put the pieces around him.
Right.
That's fact.
Right.
It's got to work together. But to your point, I think you build it around the individual that's going to be at the heart of your team.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so the individual that's going to be at the heart of your team also has to realize though that he need the team too, right?
Yes,
that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Well, a great player is going to understand that. So if you're talking about a person that's focused on individuality, I don't know how great of a basketball player they're going to be. They might be a great talent, but playing the game is mental. It's angles. It's reading defenses. It's using everybody. It's helping other people get open shots. It's dissecting things out there. It ain't just physical; it's mental. So
Well, I was gonna add on to what you were saying. It's that mental and being able to have that sharpness at the end of the game
at the end of the game,
when you are out of gas.
Yep.
So
Otherwise,
by that, so where
you're
does
gonna
Kevin?
throw in a stupid pass and someone's gonna steal it.
Yeah.
That was well said, Jim. Well said.
My man did that against Boston, and they had Boston beat, man. Isaiah did
Isaiah,
Isaiah did that,
Isaiah, but Isaiah, after that game happened, Isaiah took he owned up to that too.
He owned it.
Yeah, he did.
LeBron James was pointing at every direction like a breakdancer. He looked like a breakdancer, man, pointing at everybody else. Man, I was like, oh, why? Yeah, man. So
and Isaiah had a good example to look at. Magic. He had Magic to look at. So Magic owned his mistake.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You're right. But I mean, that's why the league, man, is just so much more different now, because when I saw a clip of Kobe talking about how he studied Elgin Baylor, I'm like, like you gotta know, even if you don't think that you may not be able to get anything from the previous generation,
right.
You still have to know the history of the game. If you want to be great today, you still got to know the history. You know what I mean? Other than that, you just trying to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
Now I don't know that Mike studied anybody. I know he had his favorite player, but I don't know that he did what Kobe did. Kobe even mentioned he watched Come Fly With Me 1,000,000 times. He would watch this, watch that, studying, dissecting. I don't know if Mike did that.
What's the
I
name?
know he had his favorite players.
Man, you gotta remember, man, Kobe was maniacal with that type of stuff, man. Picking up tendencies and studying this and nuances and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody did it to that extent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. And the thing about Mike is he never told like what he did and what he didn't do. You know what I mean, Mike?
His favorite player was Skywalker. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know that was his favorite player.
Him and Doc.
Above the rim and things like that. That was his favorite player.
The only glimpse
Kobe. I said that to say Kobe was different. Kobe was a unicorn. To have that kind of mentality, that's not normal. Right. And that's going to be a rare thing.
Right.
So,
but now when you listen, I listened to Mike talk to what's the guy who played with the Spurs that had the finger roll? What's it?
George Gervin.
When you listening to them talk about basketball and the history of basketball, you kind of got the sense that Mike was a student of the game too. But I'm not sure, like you said, to the level that Kobe was.
Mike was a student of the game.
Yeah. So.
And I remember that they was out on the basketball court and he was taking them through that. I remember that.
And you ever heard George Gervin talk, especially about his ABA days, the way he talk about Doc, man, almost like, you know what I'm saying? Like this guy was like the man for real. You know what I'm saying? When he talk about Doc, you know what I mean? He said Doc gave him his confidence.
Yeah.
Doc, he said Doc told him, man, go out there, man, and do what you do, man. Don't even, you know what I'm saying, go out there and do what you do. You know what I'm saying?
I remember in the mid 80s, looking back, the Iceman was the dude because he had for the longest time, he had the most career. He had the highest percentage point percentage of any player.
Yeah.
His points per game was up over 32, 33 for a career.
Iceman. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you somebody else. Everybody know about Bernard King, but Alex English. Alex English scored, man, he got the most points in the 80s. I never knew that.
Yeah.
He scored the most points in the 80s, man. I'd have lost my last $5 betting that it wasn't him. I probably would have run down 10 other guys before, you know what I'm saying? I got to his name about scoring the most points in the 80s, but it's Alex English.
Yeah, them dudes back Alex played with the Nuggets, Denver Nuggets, right?
Yeah, and Doug Moe had them wide open the way they used to play, man. You know what I mean? It was full throttle with them, man. It was full throttle all the time with them.
How long was George Gervin the highest scoring per game career average? How long was he that?
I don't remember. I just remember in the early 80s he was the dude.
He was up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is for his career? Around what, 24, 25? What is it like for his career? Like
I
20?
just looked it up. It ended up being about 25.
Yeah. Oh, he can do it. Ain't no question about that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he can do it.
That's why.
That's what my uncle always tell a story about when Skip Wise went down there to that camp, to San Antonio camp.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle said when he came back, when Skip came back, he was telling them about George Gervin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling them about George Gervin. He was like, man, this guy's just like lights out, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think that, it's just been a lot of, throughout the history of the game, it's been a lot of guys that can really, that can ball.
Yeah, that's for sure. You got ball players, man. You know what I mean? You got dudes that can play. That ain't never gonna change. You know what I'm saying? That ain't never gonna change.
Man, let me tell you, TCU, they got Notre Dame on the ropes.
Oh, man.
They up 3 in the 4th. Van Lift take, huh?
How much time left?
Oh, it's playing time. 8 minutes in the 4th quarter, but Haley Van Lift, she taking over. And I'm gonna say this: I'm rooting for that young lady a little bit because she was suicidal, and I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
She came back from suicidal. Yes. Yeah, she's got a compelling story.
Yeah. See, she was at LSU, right?
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
Yeah. But before she was at LSU, she was somewhere else too.
Yeah, she was somewhere else. Yeah.
Forgot where she was at.
She taking over right now.
Out of here, man. Good talking to y'all,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I'm ready to go play some pool. I'm going out and getting this weather. Jim, what's the weather like out there?
Yeah, what's it like, Jim?
It's gonna be 77 today, sunny.
Dang,
nice.
Yeah, real
it's
nice.
80 degrees right now in Baltimore. Yeah. So I'm going to pull out my stick. They put a new table out back in the courtyard. So I'm gonna go out there and pull out my stick.
All right, that's what it is. Respect.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Hey, man, I see y'all tomorrow, man, at 11.
Sounds good.
And congratulations, you reached 10K.
I know, man. I'm up to what, 10,000? 10,015 or something like that. Yeah, man. I appreciate all this. Yeah.
Yep. So, but y'all have a good one, man. And
talk to you soon.
Yeah, man. Talk to y'all tomorrow, man.
All right, peace out.
All right. Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tune in Sunday at 11 a.m. We'll be back on here talking sports again Sunday at 11 a.m. With that being said, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.